This was a good friend of mine. He was a real good friend of mine, right? I went to where his deer stand was at, and I have never been so scared in my entire life. Something about the area, something about the woods, something about the vibe, something what it was. I had never been that terrified. I didn't have anything on me. I just was there. We were after school, right? It was like 4 o'clock in the afternoon, right? I had a guy drive me. He was in the car. I walked in the woods right where his deer stand was at, man, and there was something in there that was making me scared. Yo, I broke out. I ran out of there. Forget this. I'm not even messing with this. You know what? I'm not messing with this. Got back there. There are things in those mountains up there. Unless you've been in those mountains, I grew up in those mountains. I spent a lot of time in this place in Johnson City called the Tree Streets, right? Running back and forth up there. I went to my elementary school was called Southside Elementary School. That whole area is haunted. There's nothing but orbs everywhere, right? So I don't think a hairy man or a Tennessee wild man or a feral person snatched this kid up. Something else did. And I'm going to tell you what that something else is, right? And again, before I'm going to do that, I'm debunking some of the things right now that some people are throwing out there. If you're telling me this is what got this kid, you've never been there. You've never been there. Bears. Black bears roam those mountains, and you scream at them, they'll run away. You throw a rock at a black bear, he won't stop running for like 2 miles. They call them stovetop bears, man. They're just nuisances. They're looking for a trash can. No bear got that kid. No mountain lions in broad daylight got that kid because there's no blood trail. No wolves. There's no wolves there, right? There's black panthers in those mountains down there, but people have released all these exotic animals, but they're nocturnal. This was during the daylight. It was 30 seconds, 60 seconds, y'all. He had 5 other kids there. His parents knew he was hiding. They knew what bush he was in. They were playing along with his joke. None of this makes sense. Yes, I've seen bald eagles and big, giant, red-looking eagles snatch up baby deer and drop them. He didn't get scooped up by an eagle, right? Yes, I've heard stories about eagles and hawks killing, little purse dogs in Tennessee and areas. It happens. They think it's a squirrel or a bunny. Sure, right? It's terrifying. That's not what happened, right? The area wasn't that remote. The area, there was no clear evidence for ever who to snatch this kid up and escape, right? They looked for him. Green Berets were looking for this kid, right? At the end of the day, his disappearance goes unsolved, and they literally put it into an unexplained category. They don't know what happened to him, right? But they can rule out what I just told you. None of that happened to him, right? So either the parents were lying, which they weren't, or something unexplained or happened, something odd happened, right? I'll use that. I'm trying to calm down, and my heart's pounding here, right? He was surrounded by people. It was in broad daylight. He left no evidence behind whatsoever. A massive search failed, right?
Subscribe now and turn on notifications to join us on this extraordinary journey into the unknown.